Shalom, shalom. I want to give all honors and the praises and the glory belongs to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Waharakat Badash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai, in whom I reverence and honors the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the very few brothers and sisters that are listening and also learning. We're just out here. Sometimes you just need to balance your time out, right? So that's what we're doing, right? Excuse me just a minute. Let's go and balance our time out. You know, that's how this truth is. The scriptures talk about not being over righteous in much, right? Why should I destroy thyself? You know why a lot of our people destroy themselves? Because they're too damn over righteous. So what do? We find balance, right? We're normal individuals. We like nice things. We like to just do things, right? So without further ado, we're just going to flow with the Spirit, right? Do a bit of exercise, right? And no willingness to be edified, okay? And we're going to let some scriptures come out as well. Brothers have activities, and guess what? You've got to balance yourself out within these scriptures. Excuse me just a minute. Come on now. Go to Corinthians. The truth is about balance. We're not no Israelite monks, okay? We're not Israelite monks that just stayed hutched up doing nothing. Bear me just a minute. Go to Romans. I think it's Romans. This is Romans 14 and 4. Who art thou that judgest another man's servant to his own master? He standeth for fall. Yeah, he shall be holding up, for the Most High is able to make him stand. So we see Yahweh that makes us stand. Right? Well, you're over there. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? The main thing is putting Yahweh first. But you put Yahweh first, everything else don't matter. Put Yahweh first. Right? Yeah, he shall be holding up, for the Most High is able to make him stand. You know, you have men in the truth that are demonic, that are trying to accuse you to the Heavenly Father. Oh, what? Yahweh Shai, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? That's why you got to know yourself, right? Yeah, he shall be holding up, for that Yahweh Shai is able to make him stand. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. So one man has a particular way he goes throughout his day, how he does things, and another esteemeth every day alike. So one man, he may be accustomed to doing something the same every day, but he's in the word, right? It depends on your schedule. It all depends on your schedule. Now I can't look at this man and say, well, why didn't he do what I have to do? Some brothers it's different. Some brothers got whole families to feed. So you got to do what you got to do, but you still got to do the work. Okay, and another esteemeth every day alike, right? Because that man's more content in how he goes about his day. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. So you got to be persuaded, right, in your own mind, in this truth. And in this truth, guess what? We have downtime, right? I like boxing, I like martial arts. So that's what we do during our downtime. Is that all right with you? Or do we need your consent? We're going to let more scriptures come out as well, right? Right? And King David, the men of Lord, we were men of war. It's in our culture. We're men of war, right? Not to just possibly stuck and secluded in one place, right? The Gadites, the northern tribes, they were men of war, right? They were men of substance, okay? And this is good. What I'm doing right now, right, it's just a toughening of their hands, right? And basically there's pads behind this anyway, so it's padded, right? every brother's got their own outlet. So within this truth, you got to find your outlet. You got to find what works for you, right? Because not every brother is the same, right? You got 12 tribes. We're not all going to be the same. Can you imagine if we were just all the same, all of us? Well, what type of life? What type of life would that be? You were just the same. You just done everything the same. You got to know thyself. First, you got to know your Habashai and know what works for you. And that's the problem with our people, right? And that's the trouble. That's why you have a lot of men in today's time. They're following a multitude to do evil. A multitude. Follow your Habashai. Know what works for you. Know what don't work for you. Okay? Because you need outlets in the truth. Because if you don't have an outlet, what are you going to do? You're going to turn yourself mad. You need an outlet in this truth. And this is one of my outlets. Boxing, sport, right? Right? And in no way are we telling you to go out there and start to fight. This is like a release. Because as men, especially in this truth, Yahushua teaches us to become what? Men. So we got a lot of pent up anger, frustration. So this is one of the good ways to what? Release it. Right? Tension. It's one of the good ways to release it. But you got to find what works for you. Right? Because not everything's for every individual. Some brothers like to drink. Since I came into this truth, I drink less. I do drink, but I drink less. I'm talking about alcohol. Right? That may be your outlet. Some of you, women, chasing, that might be your outlet. Some of you, exercise, weightlifting, boxing, jogging, that might be your outlet. So this lesson, I don't usually do lessons like this, it's just to let you know, do what you have to do for your Habashai, and outside of that you have your little activities. And that's what balances you within this truth. Right? Let's let the scriptures come out. Right? Because a lot of people think the prophets were just one-sided. The prophets were not just one-sided. We have many like an onion, many layers. We have many layers to us. We're not just one way. But that's what Esau wants you to think. Oh, they're extreme. They're angry. Why not just run way? If you really got to know some of us, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. We're very down to earth. Very down to earth. Well, I can't speak for everyone. Right? Yeah, we live somewhat normal lives. We like what so-called normal people like. Okay, we like what so-called normal people like. It's just that within this truth, we have a different lot. It's to be prophets and to bring forth this word. So everything we do, even in downtime, even if we're watching TV, what's the main thing that we're bringing out? You're still thinking upon the scriptures. Whatever you do during your day, the scriptures have to be in you, no matter what you're doing. You could be in the Atlantic Ocean, fishing. Your mind is still on these scriptures, continually. I got something, Baba Kasha. Check this out. It says nothing. Look, everything that's according to the flesh is temporal, right? So you even got to balance that out. You have to look after your flesh. You have to also look after your flesh. You have to maintain, especially if you're on this program. You have to maintain, because if you don't, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble, spiritually and physically. Maintain. This is 1 Timothy's. Check this out. 8. For bodily exercise profiteth little. It says little. Right? It says little. But guess what? It profits. Right? But it still profits. So it'd be good to get up off your ass, take a little jog, take a little walk, or do some exercising, do some drills, do some push-ups. It profits, but it says little. Right? Because guess what? We're not going to be saved by strength. Right? You're not going to be saved by your physical strength. Does it help? Yes. That's a plus. If you have the wisdom and knowledge and understanding matched with wisdom, that's a plus. Excuse me just a minute. Right, there's a lot I'm thinking about. You got individuals out here, they wanna box us, they wanna categorize and box us. No, there's more to us than just what you see. But people are so small-minded. Small-minded. What a damn shame. Check this out. Excuse me just a minute. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 13. This wisdom have I seen under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city, and a few men within it, and there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. Great bulwarks, right? Barricaded it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. By his wisdom, poor wise man. And the poor wise man he ain't looked to in this society. Yet no man remembered that same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised. But hold on a minute, there was other men in the city, and you can assure you there was mighty men in that city. But it says, the poor man's wisdom is despised and his words are not heard. Sometimes it feels like that with us. All this wisdom, but you can have a so-called motivational speaker. What's his name? What's Denzel Washington? You could have Denzel Washington that throws a if Jay-Z was to throw a speech in London, guess how much people would be gathered to listen? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And that's Jay-Z. That's someone that's sold his soul. That's someone that's not really wise when it comes to the wisdom of the scriptures. Maybe in music, but when it comes to the full knowledge, the full wisdom of understanding. So it really shows you. Not many people are going to hear what we have to say, but that's okay. I'm sure if it was Jay-Z, they'd all queue up. And the words of the wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. So our words are heard in quiet. It's not that your words are not heard, but they're heard in quiet. Small sanctuary. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sin destroyeth much good. So wisdom is the main thing. Wisdom. But you still exercise. Scriptures, bodily exercise profiteth but little. And Paul knew of that. Why? Because Paul, he was in the Roman Empire. So Paul was seeing everything that was happening. He was the gladiators. He was preaching to gladiators. Right? But the main thing is wisdom. We're going to go a little bit longer. Let me shut up. And the boxing promoters, I'm into my martial arts, all types of martial arts, right? What's it they call it? The 8 limbs, the art of the limbs. What's it? Muay Thai. All of that, right? The karate, right? All of that, because it is still good to be physically inclined, right? But we don't push carnality, right? So everything in balance in its right time, right? And from a young age, our forefathers also taught us how to war, how to go out into the wilderness. We lack these traits now. We lack these traits, right? We lack these traits. We haven't become self-sufficient because Esau doesn't want you to become self-sufficient. He doesn't want you to be a warrior. He wants you to be a beta male. He wants you to be a beta male, sitting around in the house like a woman. It's all a part of our customs, right? Just look at all the tribes, and all the tribes within Israel, they were warriors. From Judah, from Benjamin, right? And Benjamin's so-called Jamaicans, they're naturally warriors, right? From Benjamin, Levi, Levi were the priest, but they were all warriors, right? And Gadites especially, right? And I believe I'm a Gadite. So, oh, you're Benjamin. And men even get offended, even individuals in the truth even get offended at that. Well, he said he's Benjamin. He said he's Gad. Bro, what's wrong? A lot of men in this truth are just demonic. What's wrong with that? And the so-called Gadites are so-called what? The Native Americans, the North American Indians. I believe I could be a North American Indian because you had Gadites in what that region of Jamaica is known as Hispaniola. Did you know that? The region of Jamaica, that whole region is known as Hispaniola, including Cuba. It's known as Hispaniola. Why is it called Hispaniola? What's Hispaniola known for? Hispanics, so-called Hispanics. But who are the hell Hispanics? The northern tribes, because the northern tribes were dwelling there as well. So you have a lot of Gadites today and Arawak, so-called Arawak Indians that are in that region of so-called Jamaica, right? And they were known for what? Their face paint. They were known for face paint, and that's where the soldiers, where do you think the soldiers, the comrades, the Marines get their face paint? It's from the Native American Indians, because they studied them. Even when the so-called Pilgrim Fathers came to America, they learned everything of the Native Americans. The whole art of war is from what? The nations they conquered, right? Guerrilla warfare. Where do you think guerrilla warfare stems from? That's our people, the so-called Native Americans. They'd be in the bushes and they'd scalp you, right? They'd be scalping you. And it was an unfair war because Esau won because he had the Gatling gun. Remember, that's his sword. He had the Gatling gun. And guess what? We were so skilled in war. It's a fact. It's documented. That yes, Gadites, they were so fast. And Reuben is, what tribe is Reuben? Oh, the Reubenites. Reuben would be today, I forgot, Seminole Indians. They were so fast. Guess what? They were dodging bullets. Not all of them. Some of them were dodging. That's how fast they were. Remember, Esau studies the tribes, right? He studied the tribes, right? Highly organized. It's called guerrilla warfare. And guerrilla warfare is on ground. So if it was just a ground battle and there was no guns involved, guess who would have won these wars? It would have been the Seminole Indians. And guess what? There was a few wars that the Seminole Indians won, right? About one or two. But then guess what? They got overtook, right? Just type in so-called Seminole Indian chieftains, right? That fought, right? And guess what? Even the Native American, see, I'm going into a whole nother topic. Even they had what? The garments. Yeah, they were Hebrew Israelites. So-called Native Americans, they're Hebrew Israelites. They had what? Garments with ribbons of blue on it, because they're Israelites. But the devil ain't going to tell you this, right? But all they can teach you is about Captain, what's his name? Captain Cook. Fernando. But what about the tribes that were there? Christopher Columbus. But what was he doing? He was killing off the natives. Anyway, let's get back to what? Come on now. And as far as the boxing, yeah, it's always popping. A boxing match I would love the promoters to get out there is what? Andre Ward. I want Andre Ward to return for one more fight. I believe Golovkin is tailor-made for Andre Ward's style. Personally, that's what I believe, right? I believe Andre Ward is tailor-made, right, for Golovkin. Tailor-made, right? Somebody, one of the promoters, you have to get that fight going. If Andre Ward returns, that's a fight that's a must. That is a must. And I see Andre Ward winning, right? Points. Not a knockout, by points. I see him winning. Because Andre Ward is tailor-made for him. Andre Ward, he is one of my favorite boxers. He is one of my favorite boxers, right? He understands about the feet, the stance, everything, right? Yeah, a lot of people think, oh, you're boxing. Yeah, you're boxing with your hands, but there's such a thing as well as boxing with your feet, right? Because wherever your feet are positioned, it dictates where you punch, how you move, how you step off, right? But Andre Ward's definitely one of my favorite boxers, right? And he measures out his opponents as well with the jab. You always notice that, you know? I don't think he gets enough credit. But guess what? He even shows you, you're always going to get critics, even in boxing. Andre Ward, what does he get critiqued for? Oh, he's boring. Oh, his fights are boring. Bro, a fight, like, boxing is boxing. It doesn't matter how you win, as long as you win. Okay? It doesn't matter how you win, as long as you win. Right? That's all that matters. Right? So what, you expecting to watch a boxing match? It's just everything is spectacular? No. Right? And just look what he done to Carl Froch. And Andre Ward, again, not enough credit. He won the super, what's it? The super welterweight, what, 8 tournament? Did you see everybody that was in there? Arthur Abraham, right? Bro, the guy's got rocks in both hands. Arthur Abraham. Type in that name. Carl Froch. He beat Carl Froch, and Carl Froch, he was at his peak as well at that time. Right, what's the other individual's name? Shit, I forgot his name. But he beat, what, some of the best. Right? So all this rubbish about Andre Ward, he wasn't in there with the best. Andre Ward has been in there with some of the best. Right? And that's another thing as well within boxing. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of politics behind it as well. A lot of corruption. Because that's the way of this world. Satan is the prince of this world. There's a lot of corruption in boxing, a hell of a lot. Right? A lot of shady deals. Right? And money that gets into the wrong hands. It's always been like that, okay? Yeah, there's such a thing as, you know, there's a thing as boxing mafia. Right? You got people that bet on other people. Right? Money talks. Okay? And another one of my favorites is, you can't forget Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano, one of my favorites, and he was so humble as well, on camera and off camera. Right? No losses. Right? And guess what? He was Italian. Right? And a lot of them Italians are Israelites as well, from Malta, from Sicily. Right? Sicily, the southern Italy as well. Okay? Just look at their style. Look at how they dress. Hey? Look at their swag. And so forth. And they have a very healthy eating pattern, and they're very family orientated. That's like same Israelites. Very, very, very family orientated. Right? But our people never get the credit. Right? In 5 more years, they'll be telling you so-called, I'll just throw out a name, they'll be telling you Tupac was so-called white in 2 more years. This man's a devil. He wants to take all the credit. But our people are naturally talented, and not just in one aspect. Because that's another thing our people are being taught, is that basically all you can do is sports, and that's it. Right? That's what our people are being taught. All they're good at is sports, and that's as far as it goes. Now the so-called white man has taught you that. Right? He taught you that. Oh, all you could do is run fast, you know, athlete cricket. No. You could do so much more. Right? The filament of the light bulb. Right? Our people created that. You wouldn't have no traffic lights. You wouldn't have no lights. Right? All these things. The gas mask. Our people created the gas mask. If you didn't have a gas mask, you know how much people would have died in World War just by gas alone. But they're not going to tell you these things because they just want you to think football, basketball, music. And that's where Esau, that's what direction he pushes our people in, because he thinks that's as far as you can go. No, we need to elevate our minds. And the only way you elevate, this is the only way you elevate. It's only through Yahweh. That's the only way. That's the only way. Through the scriptures and coming back to Yahweh Shai. And don't let anybody tell you, no, you can't do that. Now you have to be realistic. If someone's singing, if a brother's singing to me, and the singing is really, really, really awful, right? What do you what do you say? What do you say to that brother? Are you gonna say, yeah, no, it sounds good, because you want him to feel good about? There's a level of honesty, right? You say, no, you know what? That don't sound right, right? That don't sound right. Okay, so you let them know. But in terms of somebody wants to do something and he has the ability and you have the ability to show him, you show him, right? That's what you're supposed to do, okay? You show that individual, this is how it's done. Or you could do it this way. It's about honesty. But Esau, he just puts up people in a little bracket and says, that's as far as you can go. No, that's rubbish. That's rubbish. You can do more. You can do anything that Yahweh Shai, right, puts on you to do. And Daniel acknowledged that as well. That's why Daniel was wise in all subject matters, because the Lord gave him that wisdom. And that's the first point of understanding. Is ye the fear of the Lord Yahweh Shai, the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and knowing that all wisdom comes from him. Excuse me just a minute. Man, there's so much on my mind. Excuse me just a minute. You know what? I ain't got the Apocrypha with me. All right. All wisdom, anything you're good at, and that's what the people in the world don't realize, because they're proud. You may have a mechanic, bro. He knows everything about a car, everything. But if he's proud, he's going to say, yeah, I done this. It took me 15, it took me 10 years. It was I. No, it wasn't you. It's Yahweh Shai that gives the spirit, even to the heathens. So even anything that the heathens are good at, guess who puts the spirit on them to be good at that particular thing? Yahweh Shai. That's the beginning of wisdom. That's the beginning of humility. We're going to shut off. All right? We're going to shut off. This. And that's why the scripture says, with all that wisdom, get understanding. Right? Get understanding. Okay? With all that wisdom. Because it's one thing having wisdom, but you don't apply it. And the scriptures tell you that in James. Right? Be your doers of the word and not just hearers only. Because if you're just a hearer only, that's as far as it goes. You just hear the words. Right? That's all. You just hear the word. Right? You want to be a doer. Someone that applies. Okay? The application of knowledge is true wisdom. That's wisdom. Okay? This. That is true wisdom. This. Okay? And that's what we're supposed to have a legacy of, right? You want a legacy of, all right, we were all foolish at one point, but now there's an opportunity to change that and what? Get this wisdom. And have a legacy of righteousness. Daniel 12, some shall wake up to everlasting shame and content, and some shall wake up to everlasting life, right? Everlasting life with Yahweh Shai. That's because they repented and they adapted and they made the right decisions. That's what we want to do, right? So it ain't too late until it's too late. Okay? But within this society, Scripture says folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in a higher place. The rich is Esau, right? And folly is set in great dignity. So the things that are foolish in this world, that's what's esteemed, right? Here it is, you got YouTube. How many litres of Lucozade can I drink before I get sick? These are the things that will get 100 million views. This shows you how backwards this society is. But when you promote wisdom, they don't like that at all. This, 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 this. You know, because they don't want you to be wise. They want you to be a fool. This, right? Not knowing anything. I got one more scripture. Whew. I'm sweating. That's good. Work up a little sweat. Let's go to Psalm 17. Sometimes you need to switch it up. This is Psalm 17. Yeah, let's switch it up. All right. This is Psalm 17 and 29. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Whew. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. And start here. You know what? There's a lot. Start from Psalms 19 and 22. For all his judgments are before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. Always hold on to the Lord Yahweh's statutes. Okay? I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also upright before him. Right? Upright means just. And I kept myself from mine iniquity. Try to sin less. Therefore have the Lord Yahweh recompense me according to my righteousness. If you continue doing the right thing, it doesn't matter who's against you. The Lord is going to reward you for your righteousness. Right? According to the cleanness of my hands in his eyesight. With the merciful, thou wilt show thyself merciful. It's important that we practice these things. You want mercy? Well, you have to show mercy. It's simple as that. With an upright man, I will show myself upright. So you reap what you sow. With the pure, thou will show thyself pure. With the froward, would I show thyself froward? So you want to be a froward individual, that's how Yahweh is going to what? Show himself to you. Right? For thou wilt save the afflicted people who are being afflicted, and I will bring down high looks. For thou will light my candle. The Lord Yahweh Shai, my power, will enlighten my darkness. For by thee have I run through a troop. King David ran through a troop. Just ran straight through him. That's power. Right? Like rugby. And by my power have I leaped over a wall. You know how high the walls of the cities were? They were not like the walls today. These were like 20 meter walls. King David leaped over that wall. And guess what? Men were higher back then as well. I just want to let you know, men were not the same. They were not 6 foot. King David was not no 6 foot or nothing like that, right? They were tall. King David was probably the size of your average house, right? Remember, we're talking about ancient times. Men were taller, okay? And he ran over what? A wall. Hey, bro, a wall. Okay, and it says Baba Kasha. Where was I? Verse 30, as for the Most High, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. So he's a buckler, he's safe to all those that trust in him. A buckler. So what are we going to do? Trust in him. For who is the Most High, save the Lord Yahweh Yahweh, who is our rock, save our power. It is Yahweh Yahweh that girdeth me with strength. That's humility. So any strength that he had, he knew that was Yahweh that girdeth him with that strength. Okay? And maketh my way perfect. So if you're strong, it's Yahweh that gave you strength. Right? He maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds feet. Quick. Nippy feet. Right? Hinds feet is what? Roll. A roll is what? A hind. Right? And you had another Israelite, his name was Asahel. It said he was fast like the roll. So our people have a history of being what? Fast, strong, athletic. And setteth me upon high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken in my arms. You break a bow of steel, that's strength. Right? Steel is one of the most strongest elements. So King David was what? Bending a bow of steel. That takes strength. Right? And he teacheth my hands towards the bow of steel is broken in my arms, that has given me the shield of thy salvation. And thy right hand hath holded me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great. That has enlarged my steps under me, that made my feet did not slip, that my feet did not slip. I have pursued my enemies. And we're going to do that soon. Not now, we're going to do it soon. But Yahushua gets first dibs. And overtaking them, neither did I turn again till they were consumed. I have wounded them, they were not able to rise, and they are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle, and thou hast subdued under me those that rose up against me. So we still, to this day, we still have people that want to rise up against us and want to try to hinder this word. Well, guess what? Yahushua is going to subdue them under us in due time. Right? A lot of these people are very carnal. They want to keep you in a carnal frequency. This is what they want to do. They want to keep you in a carnal, low-level frequency. Right? They are falling under my feet. That has given me the necks of my enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They cried, but there was none to save them. Why? Because they didn't have the backing. Right? They didn't have Yahushua. Right? And it says, even the Lord Yahushua, but he answered them not. So Yahushua did not answer them. Okay? And it says, then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as dirt in the streets. Right? And that was all according to what? Yahweh Yahushua and his power. And his might. Excuse me just a minute. Oi! Hey, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua. Yeah, we got a chariot. Oh, just a minute. Yeah, I believe that was a chariot. Yep. Hey, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua. And you know what the spiritual thing is? That helicopter just went past. Right? Are you shining? Are you shining? Alright, bear with me just a minute. Right? Alright, that's heavy. Alright, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushua. And no wonder why Esau doesn't want you out there. He doesn't really want the people out there. He wants them shut off. He wants you barricaded in your own little... No. That's why you have to be out here. Hey, bro. Yeah, that was a chariot. Excuse me just a minute. Oh, the way that was lighting up. The way that was lighting up. Right? See, the Lord shows every time he shows signs. Right? So with this, I'm going to shut off here. Lord willing, this was edifying. And again, my whole thing is, look, do what Yahushua has commanded us to do. Be yourself, be genuine, and let the Spirit flow. Right? And make sure you're looking after yourself, spiritually and physically. Okay? And as I'm saying this, you've got these flipping chemtrails all over the air. Because Esau wants to block out the chariots, and not just that, he wants to kill the people off, the population. But to the majority of the people, they say, oh, that's a conspiracy. No, that's what he's doing. Right? And them chemtrails, they have pieces of metal in it that goes into your system that tries to messes up your respiratory system. This man, he's the devil. Right? But you want to get mad at us. But Lord willing, this was edifying, and until the next time, Shalom.